Hey there,
You
welcome
probably
back
already
to
saw it
ASM
anywhere.
Sekai. We're going to be talking about our favorite story of all time, One Piece, the manga. We're going to be covering chapters 113, 1113, and 1114. For those who have been following, Oda is just writing out of his ass, and every time he writes out of his ass, it strikes gold. I don't know what more to say than let's get on with it, Moto. Let's diagnose these epic chapters and epic, the world we're actually getting.
Yeah, the lore of the One Piece, right? Something we always been looking for. So now the girls is on the Egghead Island, which we know quite a while now. There's fighting going on, but their main purpose is, shutting down Vegapunk and revealing part of the voice century, right? And right now, there's a huge broadcast. They don't exactly know how it's being done, but somewhere from the Egghead Island, Vegapunk is broadcasting around the world, revealing the darkest secrets of the One Piece world. And that's kind of where it continues with chapter 1113. Uh, right now, the girls say Marcus Mars is chasing down, Vegapunk's broadcast system, the main one, and it's a very interesting, reveals. First, the punk records that we heard about is basically Vegapunk's head that he chopped off, right? I think that's
That answers one of the questions.
fascinating. Yeah, exactly,
But
and
I think I
it
think
is
I think we kind
interesting.
of figured it out because when we see him and he had the apple, he was already telling us that all the data is already up
Right,
there.
and there's an interesting quote like, "What is death exactly?" Because his brain is, stored in the
True,
punk records, right? Like,
true.
does he really truly die in this scenario? It's such a fascinating quote. And then we see the
Plus all
reaction
the
as
knowledge he
Vegapunk.
has and providing.
Yeah, I mean that's who Vegapunk really is, right? And you start to see the reaction and callbacks to all the. I think that's one of my favorite thing about One Piece, because as the story progresses later and later on, the random characters aren't exactly random. It's characters that we saw from the East Blue Saga or early parts of the Grand Line.
I really
And
like
it
that.
just,
I really like
yeah,
the
like
call to
it's.
attention. Did you see that his hometown now has a straw hat?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
mayor.
yeah. It's they're the fan club, but of course the mayor's never
No,
happy.
I, re- you see these kind of moments in One Piece are really beautiful because we see the journeys come through.
Yes, yeah, and it's one thing that you could without a doubt say that you can't say anywhere else in any other manga, because you hear, I was just telling you about My Hero Academia coming to an end, and there's some reaction around the world and stuff like that. But these are characters that we never really saw, and we never really had invested much time at all. Versus the reaction is like Usopp's village, Luffy's village. It just goes down the line where we had a moment, and it's just a fascinating world that we get to see. And again, it's a slow process, a little bit in terms of just what the reveal of the story is, right? But it is just
I
fun.
can't
Like,
wait to get to the juicy part.
yeah, the juicy part, which I don't know if we want to,
I
especially
want
what
to, and
happened with
that's what I want to
Kuma.
discuss. I want to discuss
That
this.
was brutal, brutal. But it is also kind of what I really also like. The Gorosei doesn't seem OP as much as we thought they were in the earlier parts of Egghead.
Well, is
Like
it
there
the
seems to
growth?
be.
You think it's the growth of how far our characters have come?
Yeah, and I think I like that, because I was kind of like worried a little bit when we initially got Saturn showing up at Egghead, and how overpowering he seemed.
No, I thought we all
Uh,
said that Luffy's gonna kill him. I'm pretty sure we
yeah,
all
but
had the money.
Luffy, yeah, but like now, like Saturn could handle Luffy by himself, right? So he called in the other Gorosei, and
I
then
think Luffy can handle Saturn by himself. I think it's the
yeah,
other
yeah,
way
that's what I'm
around.
saying. Luffy could handle Saturn, right?
Yeah,
That's what I'm
easily.
saying. Yeah,
He
you know
freaking had
that's what I'm saying.
Kizaru and started in like locks like they were nothing.
Right, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like, so that was one of the questions we had. Like, if Luffy can't even handle Saturn, like, where are we going with this? But
Yeah,
like, we
true.
kind of see more and more, and you see Luffy still has the weakness of fatigue, but like, you still see the Gorosei being like, it's not like I kind of like the fact that they're not like omnipotent. Like it kind of explains some of the mistakes they make. Like they're kind of flaws. They're not ultimately. They're obviously not God, even though they portray themselves as such, right? Like
Yeah.
that's kind of interesting. And so you
Well,
see that
I mean,
they're fucked up.
from perspective,
Yeah.
because the
Right. Yeah, I agree
Marines
with
and
it.
everything, like, don't look at them, don't make eye
Right.
contact. So
Right.
they already have that godlike figure. I guess to us, they're looking more and more human.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where I think this ultimate is they stole some powers or something. I have no idea. I don't want to make prediction. It's always wrong anyways.
Oh, I've
But
been
then you
pretty
start to
decent with
see
it.
the girl sage, each one is interacting with a different straw hat now. Luffy's taking on two, which is like, God mode Luffy here. Now you got which is surprising for me is Nasujuro. He's actually in the group with Sanji, which I thought was gonna be Zoro. The guy with the sword. And there's some interaction. Zoro does get a nice kick, but then he still needs help from the giants and the rest of the crew. And just kind of the interaction, fights and stuff like that. I would say this was the calmer episode than the other ones.
Oh,
It
this is the
just
chapter where Vegapunk reveals himself that he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead, and he announces to the world that the world is
Well, it's
sinking.
going sinking, yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Which is
end
a
of the
huge
chapter.
reveal. Which is a huge reveal.
Huge reveal, and I love the fact that, and we talked about how AOT had an ending that is very AOT like, and I like this because it is very fitting to the One Piece world, right? Like
Especially
that's to
with the
me, I
next
think it's.
chapter.
Yeah, I mean, and then just all the things we have seen, like in Water Seven, especially
And
even
Wano,
Wano,
we
right?
figure,
All the
yeah,
Wano is
800
underneath
years
the
later, yeah.
water. Yeah, and then you have the Sea Island in the Fishman Island in obviously, but then you have the boats. Noah is also sunk under there. There's a lot of stuff underneath, and obviously in the world of pirating, and I guess like the world of ocean makes sense, but then it's like,
Well,
oh,
realistically,
it
even
probably
in our
wasn't the
world.
case. Yeah, and I think it's like it's even more so because it's been sinking or being caused to sink by Emu and whatnot, right? That's what we have a
Well,
lot of
no, no, no,
history.
no. You're basically jumping, right? That's assumption now. That's not proven yet.
That's not proven, but I just like the idea that the big reveal is kind of like relatable in the world that it was created, right? What's the jail cell? What the fuck you call that?
Impel down?
Not water cell. Impel down. Thank you. Impel down, right? So it goes all the way to the down. And I was talking to somebody about it. Like, is that the Asian kingdom, right? That's just the top of the tower, and it just how there's levels,
Okay.
but
The prison is from
like.
the ancient time?
Right, but the actual bottom deepest is actually the actual ground level that
Well,
used to exist, but there was a
hmm.
skyscraper building, that reached out to the top, right? Um, I don't know, but I just like the idea that it was kind of very relatable to the story. But
Okay.
that's chapter 11-13.
Okay. So 11-14, I'm gonna skip everything and get to the good part because we really need to just focus on that part. Truthfully speaking, because um we know we're getting closer to. Oh, actually, no, we have a few other things to talk about.
I think it's
Um,
two major things.
the
I thought.
Mother Flame.
Yes, Mother Flame for sure.
So let's talk about one thing. We'll talk about the end and get into Mother Flame because I think it correlates with each other. The way we're going to speak about
Okay.
it. So the very first pirate is Joy Boy,
Yes.
which
Yes.
is such a fantastic way of looking at it because, truthfully speaking, we have not been watching the story of Luffy and the Straw Hats. We've been watching the story of Joy Boy. This is technically where it all began. It's coming full circle. The whole coming of purity or whatever, the belief, the will, the fruit. There's so much that's happening, and we also see the mother flame. So we were discussing this offline, where I think Nika and Joyba are two separate entities that merge. And you,
I mean,
long time ago, I think you brought up saying that what if Luffy has a second devil fruit? 'Cause ever since Blackbeard ate his, I ate Whitebeard's.
well, I never really said that Luffy will get a second devil fruit. I just think
Sec-
when I saw the photo of the mother flame, the first reaction I had was like, that looks edible for Luffy for some reason. I don't know. It kind of looks almost depends. It kind of looks like devil fruit in the first place, right? Like devil fruits, if you look at it, looks kind of like flamish. By the way, I don't know if you guys
Yeah,
noticed it.
yes, I agree.
Right?
Yeah, I agree. It looks like he's on
Um,
fire.
it's and you and I had a conversation about like is Nika fruit or his fruit in general, is it missing something? Like it's actually not full Nika, and a mother flame could potentially fulfill that and missing. Is that why like Luffy, for example, has seemed to have a lot of drawback to his power compared to other devil fruit user? Like you
Yeah.
don't see, I don't know if because Luffy is the main character and we focus more on it that we see more drawback on Luffy, but like you don't see Crocodile using his power and having issue afterwards, right?
Well,
Like we never saw it.
we haven't seen awakening in that form, but we always seen from the beginning. Every time Luffy has used his power, there's been some sort of toll. When he did Gear
Right.
2, he couldn't activate Gear
Yeah.
2 more than a few times. Then when he did Gear 3, he had to turn into a little kid for like 10 minutes or
Kid, right.
something.
Yeah. There's always time limit.
Then when he did Snake Man, he had to rest his hockey for like 10 minutes.
Right.
He couldn't use
And
hockey or
then
something for 10 minutes like that. So
right.
yeah, every single one had his own drawback. So yeah, I think we agree because we already assumed that this isn't Luffy's final level from the beginning. We're like,
No. I
there's
think there's
still
another
more
one
to
of
him.
yeah. And
So Mother
it does
Flame. So you think Mother Flame? So I think the Mother Flame is like Nika itself, like is powering the whole entire freaking kingdom of Egghead.
I don't I guess I just don't understand what you exactly mean by that. Like it's Nika. Like
Yeah,
it's
because
sound
okay, right now we let's see. So right now we're
Nika's
technically
like
only seeing Joy Boy. We haven't seen Nika yet.
right. So what we got from I don't want to misquote the Vegapunk's comment. Like the sun god Nika spoken of in the Elbaf legend. So I feel like he was a entity in Elbaf long time ago, right? Like that,
Well, isn't Joy
right?
Boy a giant?
Ah, we don't know. It does. And the emphasis he fought with a body that stretched and contracted. So they Nika and Joy Boy both have Luffy's original form. Um, that was their characteristic. And
Giant hat.
right, the giant hat. We don't know if that's Joy Boy or that's Nika's hat. I'm guessing it's Joy Boy because I think her
Oh,
timeline or
time out.
Imu's
Time out.
aligned.
What do you mean Nika's hat? How? So I'm so confused.
Well, because like right now I'm portraying them as two different entity or two different people, right?
Okay.
Nika is in
But did
Elbaf
they have like a
history.
fusion? They had like a Dragon Ball Z fusion dance.
No. Like I'm saying, like Nika's even further older than Nika. Nika's further older in the history than
The
900
Joy Boy.
years ago.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
his legacy already existed in Elbaf, and Joy Boy just um
right. Sure.
became the
The
entity. Yeah.
in that yeah at the same time as Imu, and the other, and I think that's where the Joy
Well,
Boy win.
do you think Imu was part of the crew, like I do?
I think yeah. I kind of if Joy Boy is a pirate, I think so. Yes.
Well, yeah, of course, he's a first pirate, and
Yeah.
if everybody is saying is the D stars stands for the Dawn Pirates, or one of the things, the Will of D, the Will of Dawn
Oh, it's
Pirates,
I told you it's vitamin D.
Vitamin D, whatever, Luffy's D, it doesn't matter, whatever D you function you want to give it. Um, if that is the case, if this is the Will of D, the Dawn Pirates, that means we're gonna see difference, just like we've seen with Rogers. We're gonna see every single matching character to the Straw Hats and the Dawn Pirates.
You think so?
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
hoping.
Do you think they were Zoro's ancestor that we just saw?
Yo, when are we seeing a Zoro arc? Truthfully speaking, I don't
No,
think
I don't
any.
think it's never gonna happen. I don't think there's no space for it anymore because next arc is Elbaf, right? And
And that
after
would
that
then
is
after the
Mirage Wa.
final. Well, would
You
it be the
gotta go and
moral
destroy
final?
Emu. No, I don't think so. I think the last what do you call it? Laugh Tale is the last one.
Yeah, I'm just
I'm
throwing
gonna
this out
come back
there.
in 5 minutes so you guys don't ruin it for me.
Go.
Like,
Yeah, we're just assuming future stuff. But yeah, go leave. I'll
yeah,
come back in
yeah.
5 minutes. So okay, this is a crazy thing I'm throwing out there. I think Elbaf gets destroyed.
Ooh, I think that's a big possibility, right? Like, we know that Fishman Island's getting destroyed, right?
Well, Fishman Island is the entire sea now. It's
Yeah,
an
but there's
ocean.
that little, the bubble and whatever, right? Like
Whatever.
yeah, I think that it's getting. Well, the point is, it's being portrayed as it's gonna get destroyed, right? It's going to get destroyed, and Luffy's gonna destroy it.
Well, yeah, that's already given there because Luffy's obviously that's exactly when Wano is gonna bring down the walls and Zunisha is gonna move in. But there's a lot of betrayal that happened, and I think this is where oh man, I can't wait for the Joyboy arc. Like when you're gonna find out all the information and we're actually gonna go understand who Joyboy was, who the crew was, and how Emu technically with the way it's going, manipulated Zunisha and the Iron Giant and God knows who else because they all seem to be part of his crew. And the thing is, what if Joyboy's crew wasn't just normal beings, but like these mystical creatures?
I think it is. It has to be, right? The reason why I say that is one is the fishman, right?
Okay.
Because one of the things is like, oh, it was like whole like we're gonna come back and whatever. Then you got the whole Zunisha. It is like that's the cool thing about One Piece. It's a mix of science and mythology all mixed together into this fancy storytelling, right? Like
Yeah.
it's just. So I agree with you. I think it is going to be a lot of mystical creatures. Like some of the mystical, like Zoan and whatever we saw, probably going to pop up. Like might even see dinosaurs. I don't know. Like Asian creatures or mythical tales. Like we might see them, and they maybe they become the devil fruits. I have no fucking clue. Like
And we still have to see the origin of Delphoots.
I don't know if we ever going to. I don't know if there's
Vegapunk technically said that this is made by Made Believe.
I don't think that's accurate though. I think there's some wish of like there's more to it maybe. I don't know.
Well,
I think it is.
now we know that the earthquake is happening. Vegapunk predicted it. Everything he's saying is coming to light. He's shining the light about what exactly happened, and now a lot of Marines are probably gonna go to Sword or become pirates. Is gonna be, yo, that also explains so much more where Roger also birthed the new wave of pirates because the assumption, or at least I'm assuming, is Joyboy was, I guess, a noble or one of the elites and broke resistance, and he's like, this isn't the life I want, and wanted to find freedom.
Yeah, he
How
was
it
Aaron
was.
Yeager.
I can't
He
say
went off and
every.
said for freedom. He
Well,
got tired of
Joyboy never felt like an antagonist.
No, he's not. He probably isn't. Well, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I can't wait for 11:15 to tell us a lot of this. Right? It's fun. It should be going in into deep detail.
I'm telling Amy to come back so we could wrap this up as well, and we'll go right to One Piece. What was it 11:05? The anime was it 11:05?
Yes. Yeah,
Yo,
11:05.
yeah, that's another thing, man. I really hope Oda doesn't take any more breaks because I think we're catching up to the manga.
Still a long ways to go.
I mean, yeah, we still have few things, but the way it's been going is like he
I mean,
has
the Shaq
actually.
one is one episode. right? But then you got a couple. That's just one episode, so it's obviously. But then you got the whole Kuma arc. You have the Mirajua arc, mini arcs that we should call it.
You sure? You
Uh,
sure it's gonna? Okay, mini arc. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you also have Gorp's fight. You also have Buggy's scenes. I mean, that's not even a full episode, but you still have.
Thanks,
And
Blackbeard. We have the
yeah,
fleet.
and you know they're gonna add a special episode and stuff like that. Like when the Buggy episode or the Shanks episode, are we sure we're gonna get it next week? It should be next week, right?
Well, we don't know that, but now Amy's joining, and we're going to be
So we can
discussing 11:05, the One Piece anime. Also as well 11:04, but man, I've been cheesing hard watching this anime. It's just been really good moments is happening, especially the Sanji and Zoro moment. Amy, welcome back. What do you think about Goat Piece?
Good piece.
Yeah,
It was a good episode. You know, they've been delivering quality product. I would have loved to see Zoro fighting a little bit more.
Okay.
But you know, I think the Straw Hats are back again. Vegapunk is missing currently, and then you find out that that lady has been the CP0 lady, Susie, whatever her fucking name is, has been undercover for fucking 20 years now. Absolutely insane. They could have easily killed off Lucci and the other guy, but I guess she put him to sleep and put him on the stone prism.
Prism Stone, yeah.
Yeah, so now they can't use their power, but she could have easily knocked him out or killed him completely. No Luffy action, no Zoro action. Sanji just saving one of the CP0s.
Sanji's such a simp, bro. Sanji's
Vegapunks. He's happy about Susie joining the fucking Straw Hat crew for the time being, temporarily. Not a bad episode. You know, just a recap. What I liked about this episode was instead of giving us a flashback of how they did in Wano arc, a complete flashback episode where they wasted shit ton of time. They walked us through 4 or 5 minutes and it was done. This is what's happened so far. This is what's going on, and Vegapunk is missing. Done.
I didn't like that. To be honest, we didn't need it.
I think it was okay. Now, the reason why I'm saying it was okay is because it was a quick walkthrough. It wasn't my time and show the flashback. They just ran through it. Done.
I think they needed to fill 4 minutes because there was an issue because they couldn't start the next part because I think that is crucial to maintain within the next episode. So they just dragged it out and they just incorporated that into. It's not like they added the filler. It is most of that happens, but they just kind of added what happened and back up and disappear, which by the way is like a little overstatement. I don't know why they made a big deal about that.
I mean, they made a really big deal out of it, saying Vegapunk disappeared, and I thought, we know where he is. He's with Bonnie. It's not like he fucking disappeared.
Yeah,
and Bonnie's going through daddy crisis at the moment. So
I mean, that's given because she completely had no answers or anything.
We'll find out. We'll get the details. But overall, like, I think it was a decent episode. Nothing to it. Just some information about Sanji stepping in.
Also, did we get a little action of S-Hawk versus Zoro?
Yeah, it's interesting. No, but I think the interesting part is like I don't know if it's a hint or there's more to it. Where he fights the S-Hawk and he goes, "You're more human than him."
Yes, that I was going to talk about that.
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting quote.
One more thing. The Seraphims would not let Vegapunks talk. As soon as they started giving commands, they kept attacking. It seems
because
like
they know the authority. They're very aware of the authority system.
Yeah, but it seems like they did not want. I would think whenever you create a robot, right? Whenever you the one of the first laws is don't harm your owner, right? Seeing that Vegapunk is the one.
But yeah, exactly.
Don't harm humans is the main law that any AI system comes up with. Seraphims, in a way, are manufactured and
Well, I
created.
don't know if you've been paying attention, but I don't think the government cares about humans very much. Neither do the celestial
Well,
dragons. The government, celestial dragons, they
yeah,
never
but
cared about
Seraphim,
humans.
highest authority in Seraphims is Vegapunks, not the government.
Well. Again, it's basically you see how it's working.
No,
Even
that's
though
not. Wait,
Luch,
no, that's not true. That's not true. The
Who's the
highest
highest?
authority is
Is it
Gorosei.
the
Gorosei,
other?
then Gorosei, Vegapunk,
yeah,
and then yeah,
Yeah,
down the
but you
list.
would think people that are at the authoritative level, the hierarchy
but
level,
even higher than Lucci was what's her face the Saratume whatever Saratobi.
yeah, but seraphims are
Yeah,
created, right? You would think they would not attack their creators. It's like
Well, I don't
Frankenstein.
think. Well. Again, I think it's more so whoever gives them the command of control that becomes the owner. It's just like you're
Yeah,
not
but
the owner until you say you are. It's
it felt like they wouldn't even let him finish the Vegapunks. Like as soon as she was about to give command, one of the
I guess that was
Vegapunks.
just. I guess that was just done for like more like suspense. You know how Oda wants to
No,
just
I
like
think it
create
was done
suspense.
because they don't like the authority. I felt like
I don't know.
both Vegapunks, not just one of them. As soon as the second one was about to give commands too, they attacked him too. So I feel
yeah.
like
There's possibility. I think that's kind of ties in with what Zoro is saying, which is like you guys are more human than the other guy.
I don't think he meant it like that. I think he meant Mihawk is just he
It's
just has
super strong.
I think he has no fucking emotion. He's just heartless.
No, I mean like I'm my guess is that Seraphim has human features. So in a sense, what I'm saying is what you're saying is probably right because they probably don't want to be just ordered around.
Hmm.
But at the same time, then what does that make Mihawk, who is probably
A monster.
Well,
OP.
yeah? I
I
mean,
think
clearly he's a monster, but
I
that like
mean,
is that like hypothetical?
Even Shanks respects him.
no, I think it's
Right.
just cold hearted, right? It's not that he is not human or a monster. I think he's just cold hearted.
Yes.
That's how he is. He just doesn't show emotion. There's nothing that attaches him. He knows he's the best swordsman in the world, and Zoro considers him as his arch nemesis. So I would have
Rival?
loved what?
Rival?
Yeah, rival. Why not? I would have said arch nemesis because Zoro doesn't have one, so he needs one, right? Luffy has
Yeah.
No, I
Blackbeard.
don't think rival is the word. I think it's more so the
Competition.
level he wants
No,
to he
level that
wants
he
to
needs
reach.
to level that he
Yeah.
needs to pretty much
Exceed.
exceed or beat, right?
Yeah.
And I would have loved to see a little bit more of the fight between Zoro and Seraphim because I think there was a pushback by Zoro where the
I
Seraphim
think Zoro
was.
was gonna beat him. I think
You
Zoro
see
was
the
beating
split
him.
on,
Yeah.
yeah, you see the split on Mihawk's clone.
I
The
think
split
the
on-
Seraphim looked like it was nervous, and
So
Zoro's
I think
like, yeah, easy.
you do see that Zoro might have been stronger. I would have liked to see that, but it's all right. You can't complain. One Piece have been
Yeah.
dropping bangers after bangers.
I think Zoro
I think Zoro
one
is
on one
OP
would have
right now
destroyed
because
Mihawk.
already when the giraffe guy was attacking him, Zoro woke up, knocked it away. Right now, Zoro's our
I,
OP level right now.
I don't consider the giraffe guy a high level soldier. I consider
That's a
Lucci.
CB0 though. I mean,
I,
okay.
I
I
mean,
consider
anyone who has awakened powers, I would say, is pretty strong
Yeah, because
in
he also has
the
a vegan. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Very true.
Lucci is the top of the ladder at the end of the day between the three
Yeah,
CPs,
yeah,
and I
yeah,
think
without a doubt.
which
Yeah.
we will see in the future. Spoiler. But I think yeah, it was.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I had to spoil. But overall, I think it was a good episode. There was nothing crazy about it. It was just yeah.
I think so. I agree with every sentiment you have. I do feel like the most recent one. I like again. I love the pacing. It's been really great. This one it feels like there's a clear cutoff that happens, which happened. Where Big Buck, because the story pivots to I don't know if it's a spoiler, but different spot in the in the manga or and soon to be the show. So I think they had no choice but to add that little flashbacky, extended flashback before Becca Punk disappear. So I think it was a little bit slower pace. Action hasn't really picked up. We there's no way Seraphim would be the main or CP0 to be the main
The
antagonist of this
Right.
arc, right? It
Right.
doesn't make any sense,
we
right?
did see one of the elders. We did see.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Oh shit! Another point.
Kizaru.
Kizaru, right?
Yeah.
That's his name. That
Kizaru, yeah.
fucking guy. When he was taking the food from his
Yeah.
lackey, he goes, "Did you
Yeah.
taste it for poison?" This
Yeah.
fucking guy. Now, when you're talking about Mihawk being emotionless, I feel like Mihawk does have emotions. He took Zoro under his belt, trained him. You know, Zoro stayed with him, but I think Kizaru is just a douche, yo, like straight up douchebag.
Oh,
I agree.
wait till later.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, we don't disagree.
I agree.
Fuck Kizaru.
Yes, I agree. Sincerely. Like,
So, and then we finally see the elder, and Kizaru was like, "Yo, did you expect this out of Vegapunk?" He's like, "Unfortunately, we didn't, but we'll handle it." Right? That's the end of it. I am not upset about the change of pace. Like I said, One Piece has been giving us bangers after bangers for the last month or two. So this
the whole
one
Egghead arc. The whole arc.
the whole arc, right?
Yeah.
So this episode was just I take it as a flashback, a minor flashback compared to Wano, the shit that they gave us. I'm okay with it. I'm okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm not saying, I'm completely fine as well.
I mean, if it was
I
Wano,
love
we would
the
have been
fact
pissed off.
that Sanji calls Zoro Zorofim.
Mothead.
Yeah, just them being together is so much happiness in that.
Yeah, it is. It is.
All right,
You
so let's.
that camaraderie between the two, even if they don't like each other, but you know they like each other at the end of the day. They're brothers in arms, man. They're brothers in arms. Like no matter what happens, they will fight. They will duke it out, but they will have each other's back. No matter what
we're
happens.
all in agreement. That is our favorite part of all One Piece. Just them two being together. Because it's always the most dumbest things happening.
Yeah. I think overall, that's pretty much the recap. And
So,
if I had to rate,
let's rate it out of 5. You know the thing.
we have. Damn it! I don't want to rate it. It's either a 2 or a 3.
Damn.
Yeah, it's
Not complaining about it. Remember, wait, hold on.
Not
5
4,
is like just remember 0 or 1 is basically stop watching.
Yeah.
2 is like behind the computer, like you're doing other things
Background.
and it's on.
3 is watchable.
Like 3 is like watchable. 4
And
is like
4
it's amazing.
Yes, 4
you know.
is 4 is for the fan.
Yeah,
5
and then 5 is basically masterpiece,
yeah.
kind of thing, right? Yeah.
So
I mean, this is not supposed to be like
For me,
hard,
this is
like
a
rating.
4.
Like we could do that
For
at the
me,
end of
it's
the
a 4.
season,
I'll
right?
tell you right now, it's a 4. I am loving every single episode. Every
It is-
single
Well,
episode.
it is definitely
It's
not
a 4 for.
4 for me.
It's a 4 for. It's a definite 4 for me. Not again. It's like these ratings are not meant to be for like grading episode by episode, but the purpose of the episode it's a setup, right?
So if you're linking it together to what's going on in the arc, I completely agree. Right? But
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
kind
gonna-
of that's kind of what
that's
I'm
exactly where
doing,
we're
right?
going.
Because
Is it the pacing
it's-
going forward? Is the story moving forward? Are we gaining new information? Is it going somewhere we're actually getting more answers and more questions at the same time? Answers
There was
yes
no
to all that
question
while
about
giving good
answers.
animation, music, commentary,
Nothing was
jokes.
Nothing was answered. It was a slow
It's all
episode.
questions right now. It's right now. It's all questions.
No, nothing was answered. I think at this point, it's definitely not a 2. If we're linking it together, it shouldn't be a 2. I would give it a 3.
The Gorse is moving. The Kizaru is moving. We're seeing
Remember,
more things
it's-
happening.
Yeah, but again, it's a setup piece, and that's the thing. Like, you can't have all 5s because then by default, for me, it stops being a 5. Like that's the problem with, like if you for example, that's what I was complaining about JJK. Like
Lucci versus Luffy was 5s. Those were 5s.
Yeah, but like if you do that every episode, then none of them becomes 5 because it becomes very redundant. And that's the thing. Like if you take the JJK season 2, right?
When we go over Kaiju number 8, we'll talk about it.
Right, like for me, like there's been a lot of setups though, right? Last episode and this episode, right? This episode was fantastic. Last episode was clearly a setup episode, right? There was not much action. There was a lot of training. Huh?
We rated it low.
We haven't talked
We
about
haven't
the
talked
last
about it.
episode.
Oh, okay. But
5 and
I'll-
6, right? That's the two. That's what I'm saying.
it'd be a 3. I give
That's
it a
fine.
Yeah, I
That's
mean-
fine. That's fine.
That's
Still,
fine.
regardless,
yeah.
One Piece is still delivering top-notch quality. At the same time, we spoke about the manga. It's just been One Piece has been incredible in 2024. Excited for more of One Piece to continue. We'll be back next week talking about hopefully chapter 1115 and 1106 anime. Like and subscribe. We'll be
What
back.
was-
Peace out.
Peace.
What was 06? I don't want to spoil it, but that's gonna be dope. That's good.